Hello everyone, my name is Peter and I am working in an international school in China. Uh, so today I want to talk about the impact of China's double reduction policy on teachers. First, I would like to explain what is the double reduction policy. It actually includes three contents. The first one is strengthening education in the school means that students need to complete all their homework in the school's classroom and they cannot bring a lot of homework home. And then strengthen and optimize homework management, after school service, examination management, and so on. Teachers need to avoid letting students go to tutoring after class because they do not understand in class. The specific performance is that extracurriculum tutoring institutions are not allowed to carry out makeup work, targeting students in grade 1 to 12. The second is in the process of daily teaching, communicating with students, assigning homework, managing and guiding students. Teachers should take the initiative to study and improve their literacy, to have ideas and beliefs, moral sentiments, solid knowledge, and benevolent heart to become a guide for students to temper their character, a guide for learning knowledge, and a guide for innovative thinking. So specifically, schools are not allowed to assign a lot of homework to students, and students are required to complete their homework within the specified time to ensure the quality of sleep for students. The third one is expand the scope of school education service, extending the time of school education, and expand the contents of education. Educational activities in the compulsory education stage include not only daily teaching but also after school service. Specifically, the extension of students' time in school includes traditional classroom learning activities, after school delay service, and even holiday care service, which requires schools to carry out targeted education based on the learning conditions of different students. Next, I want to talk about the historical reasons for this policy. First of all, the overburden of primary and secondary school students is a prominent problem in Chinese education. On the other hand, the school's off-campus training has a heavy workload, imperfect homework management, and survey overload operation. The problem of overloaded training has not been fundamentally solved. Some off-campus training programs have high costs, and there is a great risk of excessive inflow of funds. Illegal acts such as running occur from time to time. The impact of capital entering education is often that education cannot be returned to the family. In short, students in grade 1 to 12 have limited study time in school. So if children from poor family have no money to make up lessons, they have economic strength. Children from family who make up classes can often get better grades, though extracurricular make up classes. As a result, children from poor family may not be able to get into good universities and will only continue to be poor in the future. Therefore, the Chinese government has decided to ban remedial institution to achieve education fairness as much as possible. Secondly, one of the reasons is also related to the lower and lower birth rate in China. One of the reasons for the lower and lower willingness of young people to have children is that the cost of children's education is too high. The government can prohibit the operation of tutoring institutions and reduce it to a certain extent. The cost of education for families to achieve the purpose of stimulating fertility. In conclusion, the double reduction policy has a very positive impact on the future development of Chinese education. Next, I want to talk about the impact on the policy on Chinese teacher. Sorry. So to classify this issue, we must first classify Chinese teachers. Chinese teacher can be really divided into three categories according to different working environment. Teachers who work in school, teacher who work in international school, and teacher who work in institutions. Among them, the government will provide financial subsidies to all Chinese schools, whether private or public, and requires teachers to work in public school to obtain a teacher qualification certificate issued by the Chinese Education Bureau, while international school and institutions do not have such regulation as a result. Teaching position in public school are very stable. The impact of the double reduction policy on the teachers include 3 points. The first one is for the teachers of the school. As far as I know, their workload has doubled, but the salary has not increased, and many school teachers are exhausted. Some schools have added homework classes, and teachers need to assign them additional homework. The lunch break supervising uniform is set up, and the teacher needs to pack and manage the lunch break for the students. After school, interest club have been added. The teacher needs to organize the student to participate and teach, and so on. Second, for the teacher of the institutions, the closure of the service of the education and training institution and the withdrawal from the market has caused a large number of employees in the education and training industry to lose their job. The resigned employee can only flow into job market again, which intensifies the competition pressure for graduation. Some employees who have left the education and training institution choose to take the examination and certification. Since they cannot be teachers in the institution, they can only choose to be admitted to the school. However, the school has high requirements for teachers, and the school's teaching position are very stable. So many institutional teachers all face the choice of changing career. The third one, teachers in international school, such as me, are also affected to a certain extent because the Chinese government stipulates that all students in grade 1 to 9 must take domestic examination, such as 中考. So the amount of homework in primary school is affected by the double reduction policy and needs to be reduced. And the relative workload of teachers has increased, but it is unaffected for high school, which means grade 10 to 12, because China's policy is not to support low-age students to study abroad, but encourage older students like high school, university, or graduate to study abroad and return home. As a conclusion, I think the impact of the double reduction policy is very obvious. In the short time, the double reduction policy has led to the unemployment of teachers in almost all institutions and the closure of all supplementary courses in China. But in the long run, the policy will give all Chinese students an equal opportunity to receive education, no matter whether they have money or not. They can make up their classes equally. On the one hand, the family's education is greatly reduced, which can stimulate young people uh, willingness to bear children. On the other hand, it also reduces the process of learning for Chinese students who are becoming more and more introverted. Thank you.